What's going on, world? We're going straight into it on this wonderful Thursday. First and foremost, if you with us as always, thank you for spending time with us, building with us, having conversations with us, and bringing your input to the conversations. We always experience mad feedback and love in the chats, definitely in the messenger and all that, man. I definitely always want to keep saying thank you at the top of the live stream. Today, back up here with my man, Freddie Williams, aka the MVP1. Make sure you follow him over on IG. Freddie, what up?
You already know what it is, man. Peace and blessings. I'm great, feeling great, looking great, hopefully talking great. What's up with you though?
I'm good, man. So a couple of things, right? As I've been on this quest with the social media thing and getting into public speaking, which shout out to you because you gave me a good nudge in that direction, man. Finally got out. My wife put together this nice letter with the business head and the picture, and I'm all up there, and I'm up there, and she starts sending it out, and it says motivational speaker, and I'm like, okay, now it's real, right? And people start hitting back, and the first place we've been to was Dismiss Charities Halfway House out here.
I saw you you made the post.
Yeah, I was freaked out the entire time. I'm sweating right now. This was my
and it's over.
it's over. You thought I was gonna go with this big inspirational message, and which it is. But I gotta say this, man. It was an amazing event. It really was, man. It was an amazing event. It was basically like a network brunch type deal, and there was people from different organizations and all that. And first and foremost, I don't know why in my mind, I'm thinking I'm going to speak to guys that are locked up or getting ready to come home. I did not know I was going to sit around professionals and people from different organizations and all that. Should have been prepared. Went in there with sneakers, nice sneakers, but sneakers nonetheless. T-shirt, everybody else buttoned up.
Hey, the anti-hero.
Sport coats. I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, so now I have that going on as I'm sitting at the table, right? My wife, God bless her soul, man. She's a butterfly. She's volunteering for things. I look up, she's at the front of the room playing Pictionary. I'm over here, I'm sweating because for the first time, I'm back in an environment where it's controlled. Like, and I'm in here now. Like I'm sitting, and where we're sitting, because I've been locked up, we're having brunch, but I know this is their cafeteria and an invitation room. I know it well. And they're there, from the perspective of, which is good. These people, every one of them in the room are there for good reasons,
right?
To help. But the perspective is different. And I'm seeing the guys that are in the halfway house come in and set up the dry erase boards. And I'm like, yo, there goes me and Freddie. I said, there goes XYZ. You know what I'm saying? And all of these thoughts, they just started trickling. I'm like, man, yo. I said, this is the first time I'm really back in this environment. And at one point they had some good food. Shout out to, the food was amazing. And at one point they started giving individuals opportunity to go up there and speak, right, and introduce themselves to the room. And everybody's getting up there. They're like, I'm the warden of such and such. I'm the CEO or whatever. I'm the head of it. I get up there and the first thing I say is, I'm the ED, Last Layers of Beauty Institute, blah, blah. And then I say, but I want y'all to know, in 2003, I was sentenced to 144 years in prison. And it was like, and my adrenaline was so up. I felt like I was talking fast. My wife said, she's like, no, you were.
I know you went in from there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to go long. I went for like a nice 2 minutes, nice 2.5.
You say a lot in 2 minutes. You could say a lot in that, though.
Yeah. And then I passed it all, got to give my wife the opportunity to speak, Indeed. And it was good. And what came of it, man, was we ended up getting with the warden, the assistant warden, the executive assistant, Nakia Grimes from USP Atlanta, the federal penitentiary out here. man, if you from Atlanta, when you starting to pull up on that street and you start heading to USP Atlanta, the federal, the big house.
Yeah.
And nonetheless, man, they want me to come in there and speak to them, you know what I'm saying, and bring a message. So I'm happy, I'm excited, but now
I hear a butt creeping around here.
Yeah, man, because now I'm in a place where I'm going back into the place that I fought forever to get away from. I talked about going into these places, you know what I'm saying? And now it's here. And I tell you, man, when I had to, go behind the barbed wire again, the gate had to slide open, and I'm sitting in it, and I'm like, yo, and it did something to me, man. Like, but I will say, there's a lot of good people in Atlanta, just like all over the country, man. There's a lot of good people, a lot of people that never experienced penitentiary, prison, none of that. They're fighting. I wish I had everybody's name, but you have people that are in there fighting right now to get protection rights for felons. Protection rights basically means if I'm a felon in Georgia, in Atlanta, you can't discriminate against me.
Okay.
Any way, shape, or form. You become a protected class.
So, somewhat, it sounds a little more stronger and had a little more teeth than when they were doing the Ban the Box.
Yeah, because Ban the Box was like in 2015.
Somewhere around there.
This is one of the organizations that fought for them too. Matter of fact, I got their joint right here.
Well, that's definitely a good thing. It's funny, we were having the conversation today about how, discrimination has become legalized when it applies to the ex-offender, man, to the gentleman coming out or woman coming out of prison. We're legally discriminated against and marginalized.
Yeah, it's funny, right? It's Black History Month, and shout out to Bard Business. That's the name of the organizations that's fighting for that, man.
Bard Business.
Business. Yeah, and you can, if anybody wants any info on them, you can contact Denise at 470-249-6415. That's 470-249-6415. Yeah.
Excellent spot, man.
Excellent spot, man. You got to shout it. Listen, I keep telling people, man, when you see good people, you better put them up on a platform, man. When people are going places, if you pay attention.
Yeah.
When people are fighting for good things and you can see that they really you got to salute them, man.
Hey, but the science behind this also, man, is that you're positioning yourself in good places to connect with good people.
Yeah.
So, again, salute also that, you speaking, man, and you motivated. And, for those who don't know, you saw all this. This was all seen years ago.
Yeah. Well, yeah, bits and pieces,
not in its entirety and in, complete detail, but the overall theme. And tenor of what's going on now, saw that.
Yeah, I was telling, before I came home, I had a notebook, and when I got shipped to Nottoway Work Center, the last spot I touched before I went home, every day, anytime I had an idea on a topic, something I wanted to touch on the internet, I would write it down. And I came home with that notebook, and I looked at it, and I threw it out. It was this is why though. It's the craziest thing. I probably had like 50 different topics in it, but it's like as soon as I crossed that threshold, I was like, oh no, I got 100 more. I got 100, and I don't even want to come. Those will come back.
Yeah, the joints are old now. That's old news now.
Yeah, I'm not even. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna wait, man. But yeah, I was brainstorming. Oh, there's a question, Vincent. Man, this says, Chris, what message are you trying to get across when speaking to humans locked up? Man, the message I'm trying to speak to individuals that are incarcerated is the same message I'm trying to speak to individuals that aren't. I just want them to understand their value. I think when people really understand their value, they understand the value of life and time and air and water and health, and really understand how fragile everything is, I think perspective shift. So with value, I think it's showing people how they can fight for certain things the right way. and live a better life and not feel hopeless. I think a lot of times when we're hopeless, that's when we fall into those ruts, man. So that's it, man. Just trying to get people to understand their value. What about you, Fred? What do you try to get people to?
Definitely that. Nobody can live above the level in which they see themselves. So, low self-esteem, man, leads to low living,
Yeah,
low actions, low thoughts. So definitely value, man. And along with that, again, for people, whether you in the Bing or you out here on the streets, the importance, man, of seizing the time. Today is the day that you can begin to change the trajectory of your life. When you're locked up, don't ever take your time for granted. Time is just like money. They both forms of currency. We can spend it wisely or we can waste it. The only thing difference is they make dough every day.
yeah,
Can't make any more time.
yeah.
So we got to use what we have and spend it and invest it wisely. And yeah, that would be it.
I heard a quote today. My man Prosper Ace, he's my business partner. Shout out to Prosper A. We started selling Chicago style food on the corner, and we got us a food truck, and man, we did it from the trenches, man. So I always value his word because anytime somebody builds something with you from the ground up when you don't got nothing and he ain't got nothing, you look over, you should hang on to that right there. But he said something today. I always call him for advice when I'm trying to figure certain things out. He's one of the guys I call. He said, there's 3 things you don't get back once they're gone. And he said they're your words, opportunities, and time. And man, if people really woke up in the morning and thought about that,
thought about that.
But instead we grab the phone. We grab the phone ASAP. A lot of us, we do this ASAP. I'm talking about, I got into the habit one time so bad, I could wake up in the middle of 4 in the morning and I'm programmed because I've been working social media so much. Instead of shutting my brain off, I reach for, that's so unhealthy, man. We really gotta think things and put them in perspective, man.
Yeah. Well, change perspective comes with changed thoughts. We gotta get around some people that can help expand our minds. But yeah, though, man. The young man asked a good question, but you really hit it. The truth of the matter is, man, people locked up, people in prison, you're both facing the same things, but in different environments and in different situations. Everybody wants to eat. Everybody wants to have. Everybody wants to have status. Everybody wants these things. So the ultimate truth also is 93% of people who go into prison are coming out.
Yeah.
So you have to almost speak in the same terms because you got to give people hope, man.
Yeah. It's I talked to Derek Beeman today, man. Shout out to Derek Beeman. He's got @Paca on Facebook.
Does the plays, right?
Does the plays, man. Chopped it up with him today. He's gonna be up here soon. And I remember when he came into St. Bride's when we was up there, and he came to speak to the brothers. What he did, and I reminded him that today because he didn't know where I first seen him at or what, when we first crossed paths. And I was like, yo, you came in there free, somebody that was once in that seat, and you said, hey, I do this. I write plays. I said, I've never met anybody that wrote plays. And I said, when you did that for me, I said, I don't know what everybody else got, but it told me when I go home, I can do something nobody else has done before either. And I think there's power, man, when we come back. And that's why, I talk about being nervous and all that, going back into the environments, going back into the prisons, the halfway houses, all that. I know that'll go away. You know what I'm saying? I know it, it's just getting back into it. I know part of it's the speaking aspect, but I know that's where I'm supposed to be in the right way. Not, I want to be clear, not with the handcuffs in the shack. No, we passed that.
No,
but I'm supposed to be in there.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be in there and doing my part, man, motivating, encouraging, inspiring, just reminding people what they got already inside them. So I'm excited, man.
We used to say it back then that one of our missions was we wanted to put a face to success. You hear about people who go out and do well. You know, you see little newsletters about such and such who left Greenville and started a business, but dudes were not having the opportunity to actually see these individuals come back in and right then, like you said, spark now that inspiration in them that show if he did it, I can do it too, man.
Yeah.
And that's the key about going back in. It gives brothers another level of exposure that, you can exceed and excel and go past this, man. This is not a death sentence.
No question. And it's imperative, man. Like when we brothers and sisters that's home, coming home from the penitentiary, that's home, whatever it is, juveniles, you don't have to go back. That's step one. And the other thing, a lot of times we always like, how can we help the people we left behind those walls? Because I know there's people behind those walls. I always talk about my brother Jefferson Ellie, my man Rizza Andre McLean. You know, I got brothers I really got a love for. And that's what I was thinking about as far as how can I help. And I remember I talked to at the then vice chair of the parole board, Al G. Howe, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And he said, man, the best thing you can do to help, advocate for law change, stuff like that, is come home and set the bar. Do that. He said, surprise people in the right way. And I want to encourage anybody that's watching this, man, understand that you can. There's already the majority of society, if we're going to be real right now, we're going to talk right now, right? The majority of society, once they find out that you're a felon, they're going to stereotype you. But the thing is, what's often looked at as a handicap can actually be an advantage to us because they're not expecting that much from us, which is crazy. But when you step up to the plate, whatever you do, the magnitude is even more impactful, man. And that's why I encourage everybody, man, set the bar, do something different, do something new. Don't underestimate yourself and paint a different picture so you can help get your brothers and your sisters and everybody else home, man. We got to rewrite the story and show them, hey, people can come home and do good, do great. You know what I'm saying? So that's my piece on that, man. Like, set the bar. Don't let them set it for you. Shout out to...
Yeah, you can't let somebody else write your story.
Yeah, and speaking of bars, shout out to Bar Business. And again, if you'd like to get in touch with them, Denise 470-249-6415. That's another plug. I had to shout them out.
But it's definitely important, man, when we come out, man, that we throw around terms like, take one for the team. I'm carrying my city on my back, but when we step out those doors, we carrying brothers on our back, man. And they're going to rise or fall oftentimes, determining our behavior. 20 dudes can come out and do well, but let one come out and do bad. They're going to overly focus on that. So we just got to, and it's not hard, man. It's not hard. There's support out here. We can't be afraid to look for support. If you really out here trying to change your life, man, if you really don't want to live like you lived, you really don't want to go through what you went through, there's people out here who are going to get behind you, man. There's two of them right here. And, we know a whole lot more. But you do not have to keep doing what you did and keep getting what you've been getting.
That's it. Man called Saraf, he said, always go that 1% more every day and improve yourself, man.
Every day. Your best can get better.
No question. That's facts. You can always improve, but you don't have to stress yourself out thinking that you got to make this gigantic leap. You can just start with small steps. Before you know it, you're going to be running though before you know it, because it's going to become addictive. That growth, that change, I can speak to that.
We just got to understand things are not an event, they're a process. They're not going to happen instantaneously. But again, it's worth it, though.
Yeah. Real quick, man. But we approach, we got a few more minutes. 2023, we touched on before, man, a couple of them. We're going into March. It's 79 degrees down here in Atlanta.
70 and change here.
Yeah, it's heating up. The news is going bonkers. China and Russia, they united or whatever. I don't know what's going on. There's a whole lot, right? We're getting ready for presidential election where there's just a whole lot going on, right? what do you say to the guy that's coming home next month about society, about jobs? Because now I'm hearing it might be a little bit harder to get a job. I don't know, because I know down here you can still go to temp agencies and get in the door quick. But what do you tell the brothers getting ready to come home right before summertime, 2023?
For one, you got to narrow your focus. You have to narrow your focus. There's a lot going on, and you can't try to take it all in at once, or you very well run the risk of feeling overwhelmed. So, narrow your focus, man. Focus on yourself and your family. If you got people who helped you get through, that's where your energy and your focus needs to be. In terms of work, you got to do whatever you can do. You have to do it whatever you do. I don't ever want to tell people not to have high expectations. Continue to keep your bar high. Continue to aspire to greater heights, but also be willing to do whatever on your road and your journey there. And oftentimes, that's where you're going to find your blessings at. When you've humbled yourself and say, yo, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to get out here and I'm going to grab this rake and I'm going to grab this shovel. And they said, move the dirt from here to there. I'm going to do it. And guess what? I'm going to do it well also. And it's going to happen, man. We find work as we work. When we show ourselves faithful at one level, that's when we're eligible to get promoted to the next level. But also, man, stay focused on your mental health, man. It's a transition, and oftentimes it's not even determined by how long you spent in. I know brothers who've been in for 30 years who are more adjusted than a cat who just did 3.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
It's all about the individual, but mental health, man, is real, particularly when we're in these environments and we really don't know how they impacted us. We don't know what trauma, if any, we experienced. And also you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. As long as you keep your head right and keep around positive people, man. People are looking for you to be all you can be and not be who you used to be. You're going to be all right.
No question. People that will allow you to grow into who you're becoming.
Exactly. And give you whatever support and encouragement you need.
Yeah. Facts, man. You touched on the mental health aspect, and I'm thinking I was one of those guys. I used to try to take every single thing in my phone, everything. I got 2 phones, right? Business, this, that, job, all this, and family. 3:00 in the morning, what car broke down, all this, right? And because I was so used to feeling like I was invincible, and man, let me tell you something. The mind will start to cause an effect on your body. And I started to think some of the things, my ailments was old age, not old age, but getting older, getting 40, And man, when I started taking the time to really deal with my mental health, and it's still long, it's still a battle. I still got plenty I got to work on.
Yeah.
But when I really started to work on self-care, when I started to really work on taking care of my body again, not putting certain foods, we talked about, I think, one time not listening to certain music. I started to be more mindful of these things, the things that I read. It's a shift, and it's gradual. It's step by step. It's about being consistent. But I just say all that to say, take care of your mind. I want just following up on what he said. Take care of your mind. Your mind is really what's driving everything. You know what I'm saying? And man, it can have an impact. It steers you. Which way you go. According to how you feel and how you take care of yourself. It's no different in a car that you haven't had a tune-up in a while, or the alignment's off. You could be driving it, sure, but guess what? It's not driving smooth like it should. It might be pulling to the right.
Right.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So same way you take care of the mind, same thing, all that, man. Take care of the mental. Take care of the body. A lot of us coming home from penitentiary, go to a doctor, get a real physical. I know a brother, man, keep him in my prayers constantly. I seen him beat cancer while we were incarcerated. He came home, he's fighting it again, man. Take care of your health. Make sure you're getting checkups. Don't think that you're invincible. You know what I'm saying?
Please don't think that.
yeah, don't think because you've been in the penitentiary that people are scared of you. I want to say that. I really do want to say that. Sometimes guys come home and they get into these situations. You might bump shoulders with a guy at 7-Eleven or QT or whatever. And I had a situation where a guy was like, "Yo, I did 5 years in prison," and I'm sitting here like, dude, I'm with my wife. I'm gonna defend us. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about all that. So if you know what I'm saying? Thankfully, thank God I didn't turn into that. But don't have that mindset that people, because it's crazier out here than it is in there. You know what I'm saying? If you're just coming home, if you don't know yet, stick around and you're gonna see. And I guess my last little piece before we bring this to a close, man, is also what you said: support. Make sure you got the right people around you, and make sure you got people around you that they understand. If you got to fall back and breathe for a second, you fall back and breathe.
Yeah, right. They give you your space. They give you your space.
They don't think you being funny and
to be a little weird. They allow you to be a little weird for a little while.
Yeah, I'm probably the weirdest one out of everybody that knows whatever. It is what it is.
I don't know.
We got some competitors.
You talk to my wife over here. She got to tell you something different.
Hey, I forgot to tell you. Welcome. But we'll talk about that later. Come on in, man. It's okay. Hey, man. I take the bottom line is, though, before we bring this to a close right now, man, support is key, man. Same way y'all support this channel, step up, man. Support each other.
Shout out to my beautiful wife too.
Yeah, shout out definitely to the queen, man.
Shout out to April. Shout out to April.
Shout out to
being honored in a couple of months.
Yeah, man. Educated of the year. I'm glad she gets her shine finally, man. I feel like she hasn't got enough of that, so I'm grateful for that. So shout out to her, man. And yeah, positive vibes, support each other. If you need positive conversation after this, you can hop over to the Facebook page, D100 TV. There's a live chat. There's a bunch of people. There's more people on the team. And that's it. We out till next time, man. Freddie.
Love.
Salute, man. Peace.